everybody, how you doing? It's Alan Smith, Hobby and Wargames. Today we're going to talk about a topic that came up recently in a Facebook group that I belong to concerning the Battlefront miniatures that come in their new plastic kits, specifically the infantry miniatures. And if any of you guys have purchased these kits since version 4 has come out for Flames of War, you know what I'm talking about. The little bendy plastic dudes, right? 15 mil, little bendy plastic dudes, and the problems that arise with this material. Now, most guys do not like this material. I am one of those guys. Here's why. When you try to clean even little bits of mold lines, there's a little bit of flashing on these miniatures. It frays, it doesn't clean very well. Even if you use a brand new blade on your X-Acto knife, it's still problematic getting these kits to cooperate, so to speak. So this came up recently. A lot of guys, saying, oh, I'm getting out of Flames of War. Their kits are crap now. The quality of the kits is going down. Personally, my only experience with it is with the British early war. When I did get the version 4 products, I thought that the tank kits were fine. I personally like to have some weight to my models, as I have said on other videos. But we're digressing here. We're going to focus right in on the infantry miniatures today. And here's my thoughts on some things that I've been discovering thanks to a recent magazine article I'm going to show you here from my Wargames Illustrated. Right, my trusty Wargames Illustrated. If you don't subscribe to this magazine, I highly recommend it. I saw an article here in the, what month is this? January 2020. What does it say? Coming in 2020, Ultra Cast from Plastic Soldier Company. Plastic Soldier Company. This is the competitor to Battlefront, guys, in terms of plastic kits for 15 millimeter World War II. Now, they're also releasing a new game rule set with miniatures accompanying this rule set. It is called Mortem et Gloriam, and it is basically based around the Romanesque Roman period, which is totally fine. I like those models. I like that era. But this new Ultracast is going to be premiered with this plastic kit line that they're releasing for this new rule set for the from the Roman period, right? So this isn't going to be hitting the stores until probably April, from what I'm understanding, and we won't really know the quality of this Ultracast, right, until we get to that point. And here's the thing, and here's what we were talking about in the group. I was talking about, is this going to be similar to the material that Battlefront has switched over to that is called the bendy plastic? Because this is what caught my attention when I read this advertisement. Ultracast is strong and flexible. Ultracast doesn't require an undercoat. Ultracast is highly detailed, right? Ultracast takes paint really well. Okay, let's go back over this. Point 1, Ultracast is strong and flexible. So what I posed to the group was this. Are we going to be dealing with the same type of material that Battlefront has switched over to? And it's going to be this crap, soft plastic that when you go to clean off any types of hints of mold lines, even the slightest little mold lines, a good modeler, you can't have that on there, because once you get your top coat on and that sucker's based, any type of mold, even the finest little mold line is going to show up and it's going to irk you. So we'll find out. These kits are not going to be coming out till April, hitting the streets till April. But I did look into this because I delved a little deeper. I wanted to find out, what is this material, and is it something that's going to be taking over the gaming industry? So we're going to go here to our cam, and we're going to go to Plastic Soldier Company. So we're going to get started right here. Plastic Soldier Company's website. I started here and I started searching and digging, thinking, well, let's see what they have on their own website to tip us off and give us any types of indication of the material and what is it made of, and are they addressing these concerns? Has anyone even brought up these concerns? Well, I scoured the website. We're seeing here they've got some nice kits, some new kits coming out. Looks like they've got some German half tracks. Pricing on the kits are great. So those of you who are getting into 15 mil World War II, are looking to minimize input costs for your gaming, PSC is the route to go. I scoured the whole website, guys. I'm not seeing anything, but I did get on a blog, and some guys had tipped me off on the material and where this is coming from. Was this developed by Plastic Soldier Company? No, it was not. Here is where this is coming from, and I'm going to take you straight to their website. It is a company called Cyocast, and I got to thinking, which is sometimes hard for me, but Cyocast, is this the future of plastics in the gaming industry? And yes, I believe that it really is. Now, here's where we're going, guys, with this whole industry. Plastic kits, pewter kits. There's companies that are sticking to pewter. They're more expensive, and they're going after the let's say just the higher end modeler, the guy who likes the weighty materials, who likes the substantiveness of the pewter. That's personally where I'm at. Now, I will buy plastic kits if it is a fit for what I'm trying to do, right? So this is kind of where we're headed. We've been going down this road for several years now, plastics, pewter. Now, this is the future of plastics, flat out. And we're going to get into this, why this is the future of plastics for model kits. And here's the biggest reason, number one reason. This company, Cyocast, has developed this material for doing castings for plastic kits. And this material, the biggest advantage it has for manufacturers, guys, and gaming companies is they will actually create your kit to order. No more shelves and warehouses will be necessary to store kits. That is huge. Think about it. This savings hopefully will be transferred to the consumer, and we will see a huge decrease in the cost of these kits, the turnaround of the kits. And just think about this. No more dealing with Chinese suppliers. This concern about viruses, the concern about the shipping costs, and of course dealing with a communist regime, a covert communist regime. And we'll actually be able to, even someone like me, if I wanted to get into metal and the casting, if I wanted to pay for castings, I wanted to pay for the molds, I could purchase a Cyocast system and I could make my miniatures to order. You send me a request, you want Roman 28 mil figs, I load them into my Cyocast, I print them off, I put them in a clear plastic baggie with instructions, painting instructions, etc. No more boxes, no more expense of that, and I just pop it in the mail in a flat package and ship it straight to you the next day or within 48 hours, and substantially decrease my costs of getting into the industry. So think about this. This is the way that this is going to go in the future. It's actually exciting. What we're going to have to wait and see, guys, to see if this UltraCast, which is what Plastic Soldier Company is branding their spin on this product, is it going to hold up? Now we're going to scan down through here, and we're looking at the Cyocast website. I'm going to go back here and we're going to play this video for you, and I want you to hear what they have to say. Jay's taking the molds out. They're claiming that the molds will last 20 times longer than standard traditional molds. So there you go. That is showing you in this little small workshop, if you could get a sculpt a range of minis, work on getting your molds, and get that cost under control, get that input cost down, and get a Siocast machine, you can get into this industry making miniatures. It's pretty exciting. It's going to get the cost down for the consumer and for the gaming company. So you can see this kind of little string theory. Sometimes I call it string history, where one question leads to another, and it kind of leads you down this road, which I got on the other day trying to research this product. And it led me to the Siocast company, and you can already see they're getting feedback from companies that have already purchased the system and are already switching over to it. We've got On Tabletop YouTube subscriber is giving feedback here. These are all resin casts of what were previously metal miniatures, and I can attest to the quality of the material. I was really impressed with the quality when I took them out of the box. All right. So we got some other feedback here, same type of saying, I'm liking the new resin, not brittle at all. Okay, we're gonna go down here, we're gonna get to advantages of our systems. Or our system, low costs. Low costs. Guys, these companies have to make a profit. This is not a dirty word, because with our profit as companies, we can take those profits and use them to produce and develop new products and things that us consumers may or may not want, and it is going to make small companies especially more competitive. Back in the day when I worked for a big national company before I started my own service in 1995, small companies like me couldn't exist because of the cost of computers, the cost of printers, all these other associated costs in running a business in my field were too high for an entry for a small company. But once we got to 94, 95, I was able to go to the local company Micro Center, purchase a power spec PC, a HP inkjet printer for less than $500, and I was in business. I did my own mail merge, I did my own documents to create my own invoices, I used QuickBooks for my accounting, and I was off to the races, because now I could compete with the big companies because my input cost, my cost to get into the marketplace was lower because of new technology. This is the same kind of thing. So you're looking here, we're looking at 40% less versus resin, right? Resin's heavy, it's brittle. You drop a resin model, a structure, it's gonna crack, you're gonna need super glue to put it back together. That's why in the recent video, I really like those MDF kits, because they're lighter, they're cheaper to ship, and you can get them pre-painted. 85% less cost versus pewter. There you go. And you can see here with the models on their website, these look like really, really high detail models. And on the UltraCast advertisement, it says UltraCast is highly detailed. So this is exciting. Now let's switch over and see where they literally plug the maximum detail aspect. There they are in the sprues. The sprues look really nice. They look really high quality. High productivity. Tooling time in one day from 10 to 100,000 plus minis in a day. Okay? 10 times faster over resin casting, same productivity as injection molding, right? So this could be a new revolution. And here you show the product. And if any of you have ever handled raw plastic, it comes in little pellets like this. I had a customer years ago who was in the plastic business, and he showed me, he had some samples in his garage, and I was asking him what he did for a living. He was living pretty well, and he was in the plastics business. He sold raw plastic to a myriad of companies, and this is similar to what it looks like, and this is it's a little soft now. We're going to find out. It's sounding like it's not going to be like the Battlefront product. It sounds like it's going to be good to work with, and it's kind of sounding to me like there will be zero molds or mold lines. There's going to be no mold lines to clean or flashing to clean. That's how clean these minis are coming out of the molds. So you see here, they got the machine. This is probably, I would assume, an entry-level machine. You got your product that you load into the machine. You have your mold. And I'm wondering if these mold flats, as they're called, and you can make your own molds. And if you're a sculptor and make your own sculpts, or hire a sculptor at a local art college or something, whew, well, the possibilities could be limitless here if you want to get into the game. Because God knows there's probably not a lot of money in making rules, but if you're combining rules with miniatures, hey, anything can happen here. Ready to discover it? See the equipment. I'm not going to click on that. We're going to let you guys do that if you're interested. If you're a guy out there who's written a couple rule books, is writing a rule book, and you're thinking, look, I've got to get into the miniature side of this. I got to get into the model side of this. Hopefully this will be a wake-up call for you guys. It's what's coming and what's out there. Now, I also prepared the other aspect of this whole plastic, resin plastic push, because the other aspect of this topic, guys, is not just plastic kits and the quality of the plastic kits. It's also the printing that everyone is claiming will be the future. We already have the filament type printers. You can go to Little Wars TV. They've done a series of the different machines out there. I've been looking into it for sure in my studio. I will be going the resin route. It's a resin printer, not a filament printer. But here's where the technology currently stands. The resin printers are giving you the best quality than the filament printers. Filament printers are really best suited for making structures, buildings, things for your tabletop. The resin can also do the same, but if you wanted to print miniatures and 28, 40 millimeter miniatures for like your skirmish games, that's going to give you better detail. The downside to the resin printers is the fumes. Well, I understand you really need to have a ventilation system, or located in a garage, someplace where there's ventilation, because of the fumes. So that's currently where it stands. We have made, or they have made, huge strides in the filament and the resin printing. Now we're going to go to a YouTube channel here where I want to show you guys a YouTube channel I highly recommend if you're interested in doing printing at home like I am. This is a great resource for you. It's Thomas Sandlanderer. I believe he's in Norway. He's a great guy, speaks very good English, and Google him, get on the YouTube, do a search. But he has a lot of very good, very informative videos. He just moved to a bigger, newer studio. And you can see here, he's got the Elegoo, which is what I've been looking at. Excuse me, because I'm going to have a, once the studio's done here, I will have a vent for my paint booth, my spray booth, and I can tie in the same ventilation system, a system for this resin printer, right? So this is the route that I've personally going to take with the resin. It's like a soft, liquidy material, and they use light, laser lights, to go in and actually create the actual miniature structure, whatever it is you're printing. It's very exciting if you can set it up so that you can have ventilation and you're not dealing with the fumes. Of course, we don't want that, right? And I don't want to walk around with a respirator. Just that's the main reason I got a spray booth, is I did not want to deal with having to wear a respirator, right? So check out this guy's products and the things that he's plugging on his channel. It's very good reviews, lots of good tech information on there if you're looking to do this in the future, okay? And another thing I want to throw out there before we get going here on the video is another magazine I subscribe to, and it's brought up another point that ties in with all of this, with this whole materials thing, and that's Wargames Soldiers and Strategy. It's a great magazine. This one is the September/October 2019 edition. Now this magazine comes out 6 times a year. It's once every other month. So the subscription's not too terrible. I say which is better. They both have their place. This tends to be more focused on his history flavor and building games and scenarios that match historical accuracy. I really like this. This is coming out of the Netherlands. Another great product. A lot of great contributors writing in this magazine. But one of the side things was, hey, plastics, resin kits. I hate these kits. I like pewter, like I mentioned earlier in the video. Guys, they're out there, and one of the great resources for 15 mil especially in focusing on World War II is Peter Pig. Now Peter Pig and a lot of these UK companies that are still producing pewter are, as I said, over in the UK. Now one of the problems with this is if you don't call your bank or your debit card or your credit card and you order overseas, a lot of times, and I've had this happen to me a couple of times where my card gets locked up because they see it as a fraudulent purchase. And I've always said, if I could find a distributor here in the US that I can get UK products, that's your best bet. So I went online, I said, I want to start using more Peter Pig because I really want to go forward here with my late war Brits for World War II. I want to switch over from the Battlefront infantry kits, which I despise because of that garbage product. I'm just going to simply find another supplier for pewter. And that is going to be the Peter Pig Company. I'm really impressed with their stuff. And I found a U.S. distributor here called Noble Knight Games. They're located in Wisconsin, I believe. It's either Wisconsin or Washington State. I'm pretty sure it's Wisconsin. And they have a great website. They got free shipping on orders over $149. So if you're looking to build an entire army and get everything all at once, you can save on the shipping because we know pewter's is heavier, right? So you can see here, they've got some great kits and they're very reasonably priced and they come in 30 packs. So you look here, you see U.S. Marines, U.S. Marine saw gunners. So they got some modern stuff. They've got World War II. They got World War I. A lot of selection for Peter Pig, and you can get them here in the U.S. and not have to suffer the consequences of having your card lock up, okay? Which is a real drag if you're trying to get gas in the afternoon and your card won't work, right? So you can see here they've got a lot of stuff. They do have some of the nice resin tanks. Now, those of you that have followed my channel for any length of time know that I've got 6 bags of stuff out here that's old Battlefront. It's the resin metal tank vehicle kits that I just love. I wish they still made them. And 98% of my stuff is the pewter stuff. It's just the V4, version 4, early war Brit stuff. Some of the minis. I've got one up here if I could reach. I just can't reach it. It's up here on top of one of my display cases with the little bendy dudes. I still made them look good. It turned out good. The kits aren't horrible, but not my preferred choice. So yeah, I hope you guys give this some thought. There's some really interesting things, some exciting things going on here in the industry. I'm really excited about bringing here to my studio with my resin printing, with my future builds in pewter. And like I said, there may be cases in the 28 mil range. I still love the Perry plastic kits, and I do plan on doing more Knights in Shining Armor type builds in the future, and I'm definitely going to gravitate to the Perry miniature kits for those. The sculpts are amazing, even though they're plastic, and they still do have some pewter pieces you can purchase. And I will be looking in the future when we do a video. I will try very hard to find a local US supplier so that I can get the Perry stuff without having them shipped from the UK. All right, guys, that's all I have for you today. So I hope you enjoyed everything. Please hit like, please hit subscribe, and leave your comments below. I'd love to know what you guys think about this topic and your feelings, your thoughts, and things you may have heard out in the hinterland on where this is going for especially the small companies. Stand 2 Games, Adrian McWalter. So I know there's some smaller guys out there that this could be a very bright future for you, coming out with future rules and your own future kits that you can print on demand. No warehouse needed. You get an order, you print the order, you mail it out the next day. How exciting is that? See you next time, guys. Ciao.